We've got the new Ford F-150 pickup truck, and it's a hybrid. It is the best seller.
It's loaded with new tech. So let's get in and go for a drive. I gotta say, Andrea, it's pretty hot. You're driving a pickup truck.
And I love it.
Now, I have a pickup truck. Andrea won't even be seen anywhere near it.
Well, it's slightly different than an F-150. Come on.
F-150, the best-selling pickup truck in Canada for 55 years.
Amazing.
And it's the best-selling vehicle overall of any vehicle sold in Canada for the past 11 years.
Can you believe that? Any vehicle, a pickup truck.
Yeah, and that's why we're going to review it as a everyday vehicle, because people have in their mind that, oh, somebody who has a pickup truck must work in the trades and go to construction sites. No, most people drive them empty.
Yes.
They tow occasionally.
Yeah.
So we're going to drive it like an everyday vehicle.
I love it because it is a beast on the road.
What's under the hood, Andrea?
It's a Powerboost full hybrid V6 with a 10-speed automatic transmission. It pairs Ford's twin-turbocharged V6 matched with 47 horsepower electric motor and 1.5 kilowatt-hour battery system, making it the highest output powertrain on the Ford F-150 lineup. It's got 430 horsepower and 570 pound-feet of torque.
Well, Ford is going to have a full electric.
Yeah.
So this is the stepping stone towards a full electric F-150. And I think that they've done a pretty good job. There's some positives, obviously the monster power, right?
Yes, the torque.
But I don't think that they've ironed out all the bugs with the drivability yet. You notice one thing about, well, Andrew's doing all the drive-bys in front of the camera, turning it around.
The steering is heavy. I felt like I really got a good workout. My arms, backing in and out of driveways was a slight challenge when it came to that.
So you have that V6 engine, and then you have the 10-speed automatic transmission. And the electric motor is sandwiched between them, and that's how they get the power through the transmission. There's no CVT in this.
No.
But on and off throttle at lower speeds, it can be a little lurchy at times, not all the time, but once in a while. So that's our feedback. We're going to get into the braking in a moment because it's got a new braking system in Questions, Coffee, and Cars. That's still to come. But right now it's time for our key standard features.
The F-150 4x4 Super Crew Hybrid Lariat comes standard with a 12-inch touchscreen, a 12-inch driver display, leather-wrapped steering wheel, leather-trimmed heated and ventilated front seats, driver seat memory, Sync 4 with enhanced voice recognition, B&O sound system, LED headlights and taillights, LED fog lamps, and 18-inch wheels.
There are so many buttons and plugs on this thing, Andrea. What does this one do? What do you have to put it in?
You got to put it in S for subscribe. And if you can hit the notification bell, it really supports the channel. You will be notified when the videos drop, and then you can watch them.
And if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, elves will wake up every morning and inflate your tires to the right PSI. And if you want to follow Andrea for Instagram, it's Motormouth_Andrea. And for me, it's Motormouth_Auto. And if you can't remember that, the links are below. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below. You know what, Andrea? I can't tell the difference between the last one and this one. It looks the same to me on the outside.
No, it's not the same.
I know it's not the same, but it looks the same.
But I think that Ford has just made some small changes to the outside, and not to alarm any of the Ford buyers. I mean, let's face it, it's the #1 selling vehicle. So how much do you really need to change?
Don't screw it up. And I think that they have a look and it's recognizable.
Yeah.
It's certainly recognizable. But I think they could have done a little bit more. Probably if I had them right next to each other, I would notice.
Yeah, I think so for sure.
Now you love the running boards.
There's power operated running boards. So right when you walk up to the vehicle, they come out for you. They are brilliant.
So it's connected with this Bluetooth low. It detects your key and it gets ready. You don't have to pull the door handle first. Also, you can kick the side of the running board and climb into the side of the vehicle and then kick it again and it goes away, which is really handy when you have your hands full and you want to put something, say, in the bed of the truck.
Yes.
Now the tailgate, instead of a handle, it's a little switch like you would get on a lift gate of an SUV.
Yeah.
It slowly folds down. It's got a soft open. But when you have your hands full again and you lift it up with your knee, then the electric motor takes over and lifts it up. That's pretty cool.
What I like about it too is it comes with a ladder and a handle, so easy access right into the tailgate, especially for somebody my size.
Now this bed has the optional spray and liner. There's also LED lights in the back and the plugs underneath that. We're going to get into the plugs and the hybrid system and a little bit later in Questions, Coffee, and Cars. You really want to talk about the inside.
Well, that's where the big change is. Ford in the past has come up with some pretty, cheap looking interiors.
Yep.
This is so much nicer. I mean, a real standout now. It can compete much better with the Ram 1500. It comes with a 12-inch touchscreen, which is super intuitive, easy to use. It is color, and also a 12-inch driver display, which is digital. Just a beautiful screen.
So this big 12-inch screen is, Ram did it this way, and they're doing it horizontally.
Yeah.
That's not standard though.
No, 8 inches standard. I like this.
I think a lot of people are going to spend the extra money for that. It really is a showstopper. Now, when you put the cameras on the front and the back and the trailer assist cameras as well, boy, you can make them full screen, so that full 12 inches for the display, so you can see all around this vehicle, no problem at all.
Another thing I really love is this center console. So you've got the storage unit here, but then you can put the shifter down and this folds over and creates a table. So you can work here, you could put your laptop on it if you wanted to. You could even eat your lunch on here. What a brilliant idea.
The only concern I have about this is it's got a button and it's mechanized, like it's automatic. It goes down and then the same thing, it releases up.
Yeah.
I wish it just had you push the button and it releases a pin and you could do it manually, because I worry that if anything ever happened, you might have it stuck and you can't get it back up. I don't know. It's just an extra mechanical thing that you have to worry about. So that is something that's so simple and clever. All pickup truck innovations, once they've come out, people go, well, that was like putting a ladder in the tailgate.
Yes.
I remember the first time I saw it at the Detroit Auto Show, I was like, well, that's so simple. Why hasn't that been done? Now it's like, of course, that's a great idea.
We have friends who like to go down to the beach and he actually owns an F-150 and has ordered the new one, and he is super excited about this.
Well, he's very West Coast, so he's going to eat his sushi on there.
That's what he said?
That's so Vancouver. He has an F-150 and eats sushi on the table. Now, they've gone with this sort of brushed look.
I think it's beautiful.
Now, one interesting thing, on the side of the dashboard, there's supposed to be an American flag there.
Oh.
But this one was designated for Canada, so they've gotten rid of the American flag and they've just gone for a brushed look. I think that's quite clever. So Americans will get the American flag, Canadians just get the stripes.
What about us getting a Canadian flag?
Well, that would be nice, but it's not made in Canada.
No.
Well, maybe the new trucks that are going to be made in Oakville will have a maple leaf on there. I highly doubt it.
Look at this beautiful panoramic sunroof you get. When it comes to the seats, they are super comfortable, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Ford always makes a great seat.
Yeah, they do good seats. And the back seats, they flip up, and there's a storage bin in there.
Yeah.
And you can have stuff sort of locked away and it's not going to slide around. But if you want to have flat storage on the inside, by the way, the floor is perfectly flat in the back, that folds down with just a click of a lever, and then you've got all of that flat, dry storage lockable on the inside.
So much space back there. I mean, it is just huge.
Plugs, plugs, plugs. There are plugs everywhere in this thing.
Yeah, so many plugs. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is available.
And you have 120 volt outlets. And of course, there's the 120 volt outlets in the back. And we're going to put them to the test now. Time for coffee.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
A slightly different setup for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
How about this? We've got a truck, so we're going to make some coffee. And I kind of feel like I'm getting my picnic here with Zach.
It's tailgating. All right, not much of a challenge for the hybrid system on the F-150, but
Still pretty fast, and we've got a coffee.
all right. Now to your questions from Instagram.
Have either you or Zach noticed anything different about how the braking feels? I have read that the brake pedal feels stiff and not as dynamic as it should be. Ford has switched from vacuum brakes to electric ones to help with regenerative braking. Yes.
You notice.
Yeah, we
You
notice
notice.
for sure. The brakes actually feel a bit heavy.
Yeah, you have to, at some points, you have to really push hard.
Yeah, you have to push hard, and you have to just get used to how much you have to push. Otherwise, it gets a little bit jerky.
I think
So-
that that's something they could certainly work on, and probably will be with the software update.
Yeah, I mean, tweak it a little bit. Do you feel Ford did enough with this new model of the F-150 to keep it competitive against the Ram 1500? Well, I feel like they're both great picks, don't you think? They're pretty amazing, but I like all these extra features that are in this F-150.
So this one's got all the tech with the hybrid system, but I think you're probably referencing the interior refinement of the Ram. So they have improved the F-150. This is the one area that it really needed to be done,
Yeah.
but it's still not quite at the top level of the top Rams. I think
But-
the Rams still have the nicest interior.
How long with an electric saw nail gun to charge? Well, you can power up a ridiculous amount of stuff with this 7.2 kilowatt system that is in this truck.
Yeah, it's an immense amount. You could basically, also there's a plug there that has a 240 volt outlet,
Yeah.
and that can plug right into a panel and juice most of your house.
And it has a 32-hour maximum run time on a full tank of gas. So you can be framing a house and charging your tools, and you're golden.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you live in an area where you have a lot of power outages, a cabin, a cottage, or you work and you need power, this would be a fantastic generator.
Yeah, for sure. And that's it. Thank you for all your questions. Always so good.
If you want to get a question in, follow Andrea's Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea. And now, because you hear the music, it's time for Nightlife. In every review, we keep one or two questions back from Question, Coffee, and Cars, and we expand on it. It's called our Hot Topic. What's it this week, Andrea?
Would you recommend this or the diesel option? Wondering about fuel efficiency in particular. Love your reviews. They're pretty close, the diesel and this hybrid. So the hybrid gets 9.8 liters in the city and 9.7 on the highway. And the diesel option gets 11 in the city and 8.3 on the highway. So a little bit better.
Yeah, so one's better all around and one's better on the highway. Depends, I guess, what kind of driving you're doing.
Yes, but you do get more horsepower and torque in the hybrid versus the diesel.
All right, this comes down to whether you want to take a flyer on new technology like this, or you want to stick with old technology like the diesel powertrain.
Yeah.
So
What would you prefer?
I would go with the diesel.
Would you?
Yeah, because the diesel in the F-150 is one of the smoothest and quietest diesels I have ever driven. So first of all, you can't tell it's a diesel, and it's got great torque, and it's a proven, reliable engine that's going to
Yeah.
run for hundreds of thousands of kilometers. This, it's brand new.
Yeah, and you know what? That's one great thing that you just said about the diesel, that it's quiet, because
Yeah.
that's not always the case with a lot of diesel engines.
No.
So I think I would probably go with the diesel as well. Just as you said, it's a tried and true engine, and this hybrid is new.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I do like the torque in this.
Yeah, the power
and
is
what
intoxicating.
a smooth ride.
It's all really good. I have no complaints. There's a few niggles, but not really big complaints.
No.
But yeah, there you go.
There's always lots of questions about the competition and how this F-150 compares, so let's check them out.
For your consideration, 4 categories and 4 vehicles for you to consider.
It's pretty obvious in this consideration we're going to focus on domestic trucks. The Ram 1500 comes with either a 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 or a 5.7 liter Hemi V8, both with an 8-speed automatic transmission. The V6 has a starting price of just over $38,000 and the V8 $48,000.
Up next is the Chevy Silverado, and we've picked the diesel option. It's a 3-liter turbo diesel with a 10-speed automatic transmission, 277 horsepower, and that torque, 460 pound-feet. It starts at just roughly $49,500.
Next up is the Toyota Tundra, built in Texas with a 5.7-liter V8 and a 6-speed automatic transmission. It has 381 horsepower and a starting price of just over $47,000.
And the final vehicle is the Rivian R1T, an electric truck alternative with approximately 480 plus kilometers of range and a starting price of around $67,500 US. It should reach customers in January of 2022.
We chose the Rivian over the Tesla because Rivian actually has a production model and a production date, unlike the Tesla. So there are 4 vehicles for you to consider.
So Zach, how about the towing capacity on this? It is impressive.
Yeah, 12,700 pound towing capacity.
And the payload is over 2,000.
So the F-150 was the best seller. It has been for 55 years, but it was never my favorite. I preferred the Ram for the interior. This one's very close now. Not quite there, but very close. And the drive of the old one was noisy. You know what? It really wasn't a great long distance driver. Now that's the biggest thing I notice is how much quieter and more refined this feels compared to the old truck.
Now, I do have a bit of an issue with the turning radius. When we were doing all of our drive-bys, I was turning this thing around a lot. It wasn't the best.
And heavy steering.
But I guess it is a big vehicle. If you are interested in the color, it's called Rapid Red. A lot of people are looking at this F-150, and this one in particular, we have 20-inch wheels on it. Before we get to our price pause, the Hybrid Powerboost is a premium. It'll cost you $4,850 in Canada and $3,300 in the US. The F-150 Hybrid Super Crew starts at $48,589. The Lariat base model is $66,695, and the price as tested on this model that we're reviewing is $83,615. Well, I'm not somebody who would usually buy a pickup truck, but I get the appeal of this for sure.
I think they could smooth out some of the throttle and braking responses, probably through software updates, but for a first hybrid pickup truck from Ford, they nailed it. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.